Welcome to National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector. Coming up, the government of Japan officially hands over a dormitory to the DAPD, government's one tablet per child initiative to be launched this week, and Dominica is still on track to achieve 100% access to potable water. Stay with us for details of the headline stories and others after this. Thanks for staying with us. The government of Dominica promised and it will deliver. Words from the Honorable Minister for Telecommunications, Kelva Daru, as he proudly announced the launching of the Dominica Labour Party government's one tablet per child initiative. Setting aside the recent delay in the start of the new school year, secondary school students in Dominica will begin the new school term with this additional tool expected to enhance their success. The Honorable Minister for Telecommunication made the announcement in an exclusive interview with GIS News on Monday morning.
The government of Dominica will be delivering on its promise to provide tablets to all students attending secondary school. And we'll recall that this great initiative was the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Scarrett to ensure that all of our students have the requisite tools and the capacity to keep up with the ever-changing environment that we live in. And this promise was made last elections, and I can report that the tablets arrived on Island on the 13th of August, and every system was in place to ensure that within the first week of school, all of the tablets should have been distributed to all of the students at their respective high schools. However, we had the passage of Tropical Storm Erika, and with the passage of Tropical Storm Erika, the school year was delayed.
He says although there may be challenges in delivering on its promise, once the Dominica Labour Party administration promises to deliver, it will deliver.
This is a very momentous occasion because we've never seen that before in the history of Dominica, and well over 5,000 students at our high schools will be the recipients of these tablets. I want to say a very special thank you to the staff of the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Information Technology, and also the Prime Minister for really pushing this program forward and to see it now becoming a reality. I know that a lot of our skeptics out there, they will say a lot of negative things in regards to the program. But this is a serious government. This is a government that has serious leadership. And when we make a promise to the people, we keep our promise. It may take some time, we may encounter some challenges, but we always ensure that we keep our promise.
The official launching of the One Tablet Per Child initiative is scheduled to be held this Wednesday, September 30th at the Pierre Charles Secondary School in Granby.
At that ceremony, the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Scarrett, Minister of Education, Minister responsible for Information Technology, and both the parliamentary representatives for Granby and the PD Savannah will address that function. And we'll also have the handing over of tablets to students of first, second, third, fourth, and fifth forms.
Over 5,000 devices will be delivered to secondary school students on the island. The Honorable Minister says principals and staff at the schools will benefit, as well as students of the Dominica State College. A separate ceremony will be held for the DSC. The Honorable Telecommunication Minister is hoping that recipients will use the devices for its intended purpose. The Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities, DAPD, now has a new dormitory complements the government of Japan. The dormitory is phase 3 of a multi-purpose development center envisioned by the association some 30 years ago. The project was divided into 4 phases: an administrative building, a training center, the newly opened dormitory, and soon to follow an auditorium. It has taken 3 years to get to this stage. On Friday, September 25th, His Excellency President of Dominica, Charles Savre, and Mrs. Savre, and Japanese Ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Mitsuhiko Okada, officially opened the dormitory. Natalie Murphy is Executive Director of the Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities.
The project for the construction of the facility was granted to Mr. Philbert James, who is present here with us today. And then on September 27th, we signed the contract with him. And from October to February, it was non-stop work, a buzz of activity at DAPD, noise, all these kinds of things, machines and so on. So we had to be working at the same time, and the construction was still taking place. But we persevered. And Mr. James kept within the contract conditions and delivered the facility to us in February 2015. And we were able to meet the 1-year deadline that was given, or 1-year time frame, that was given for the implementation of the project.
The dormitory was funded through the Japanese government's grant assistance for grassroots human security project. The total bill exceeded $36,000 US.
These funds were used for constructing a dormitory for persons with disabilities at the Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities, DAPD, in order to facilitate their participation in workshops and other events held at the DAPD. The dormitory also allowed for overnight accommodation for persons living outside the Roseau district who may choose to stay at the facility. Listening to the project overview in the earlier stage of this ceremony given by Mrs. Murphy, I came to realize how much hard work were needed relentlessly to make it happen. So I'd like to congratulate all those who made this project a reality. In today's world, persons with disabilities still face a widespread lack of accessibility, which results in the disadvantageous and vulnerable situations that disabled persons must live with. In this connection, it deserves high praise that the DAPD has provided support to the holistic development and welfare of persons with disabilities in Dominica for over 30 years.
The Honorable Minister for Commerce, Enterprise and Small Business Development, Rosalind Paul, says this is a noteworthy milestone for the association.
It is my understanding that the absence of a suitable facility to conduct its activities has sometimes restricted the sustainability of the organization's programs. Also, the lack of overnight accommodation has hampered members' ability to participate in evening programs. Things will definitely be different now. Members of the association from the all districts participating and attending evening and nighttime activities will now have a place to overnight, thus making more persons with disabilities better able to benefit from the association's development work. This will enhance opportunities for the personal, social, educational, and economic development of its members. The dormitory will also be available to groups in need of short-term accommodation when certain activities are being held.
The Honorable Minister expressed government's continued commitment to the DAPD.
Government has always been a champion for the Dominica Association of People with Disabilities and its projects, and we are therefore delighted to see the completion of this phase of the project. Rest assured of our continued commitment to support the DAPD in the efforts to attain sustainability, inclusiveness, and overall progress.
The government of Japan has been of tremendous support to the Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities over the years. To date, over $116,000 has been given to the association in the form of grants. The association has also benefited from the Japan Overseas Cooperation Volunteers Program, which allowed 4 volunteers to work with the association from 2008 to 2013. In other news, the Honorable Minister for Education, Peter Seja, has lauded the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit for acting swiftly and decisively to restore the island following Tropical Storm Erika. Speaking on Focus on Government and Development radio program last Thursday, Honorable Seja said by week 2 after the storm, 53 of the 75 schools on the island were ready to receive students. The Education Minister attributed this accomplishment to the actions of Honorable Prime Minister Skerrit to get quick assistance for Dominica. He says action like this speaks to the type of leadership which runs this country. Tropical Storm Erica, the education leader says, was a test of the quality of the Prime Minister's leadership.
This situation, Tropical Storm Erica, proved to all, both at home and abroad, regionally and internationally, that the kind of mettle with which your leader is made is paramount as far as ensuring, first of all, that the country remains united in the midst of crisis, and secondly, that those at the helm of leadership can address the issues that must be given the critical, that must be addressed critically to ensure that the country returns to normalcy.
Much more than the effort to reopen schools, Honorable Seja said having to surmount the challenges in his own constituency required great effort. He says one can only imagine the magnitude of the effort required to restore the entire country.
We see Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit standing tall and maintaining the kind of posture that when as Minister for Education or the Minister of Public Works look at him, we feel motivated to do what we have to do. Mervyn, it tells us in a very powerful way that at this time, and I want to apologize for saying that, the only person to my mind who could take care of Dominica in the state that we are is Roosevelt Skerrit.
Despite the lingering effects of Tropical Storm Erica, island-wide access to potable water is still achievable. Kimani Seja brings this report.
Throughout the past few years, a government has pursued projects to bring a sustainable supply of potable water to every community on the island. In some communities, entire generations had never had pipe-borne water through the Wasco in their homes. Government placed so much emphasis on that mission that the terms potable water and water supply project were on the lips and minds of all. All 192 member states of the United Nations set out to meet Millennium Development Goal number 7, which calls for improved sanitation and increased access to water by the year 2015. Very early in 2014, Dominica had practically met and surpassed that goal. As a matter of fact, only one water supply project remained to be completed to cross that target off the list. In the financial year 2014-2015, Dominica's water and sewage company, DUWASCO, undertook 5 major projects. The water supply system for Water Area 1, which comprises Roseau and environs, and as far as Castle Comfort and Canefield, was further upgraded in that period. A 250,000-gallon storage tank was established at Antrim and a 100,000-gallon storage tank at Massac to allow for a larger water storage capacity for times of need. The Springfield water intake was also relocated to a better protected area and the filtration plant further upgraded for improved effectiveness. The 2 sub-project cost close to $2.5 million. Water Area 1 services about 30,000 people. Another project undertaken in the past financial period is the Savan Water Supply Project in Scott's Head. The 200 residents of the area will enjoy improved service when the project wraps. Distribution and supply lines were laid and pressure tested and a 30,000-gallon storage tank erected. The third project undertaken in the past financial year is the renowned West Coast Water Supply Project. Lots 1 and 2 have already been completed and is reliably serving the public. Lot 3 involves the construction of 9 storage tanks. The $2.5 million Salisbury or Grand Savan water storage tank was first. The remaining 8 were planned for this financial period. A fourth water supply project executed in the 2014-2015 financial year is in Union Estate, Point Michelle. A relatively new community, Union Estate is blossoming and boosting the construction industry. A 30,000-gallon water storage tank was erected and the distribution and supply pipes were laid. By the end of the financial period, all major work was done. The final project, which began in that period, was also the final project to push Dominica over the finish line for achievement of MDG number 7. Ground was broken for the $6.3 million Bells, Penrice, Sylvania, Layo project, and work took off. It comprises 2 intakes, 2 storage tanks, 2 access roads, a pump house, and several miles of distribution and supply lines. Bells, Penrice, Sylvania, and Layo Park will be receiving pipe-borne water and improved sanitation for the first time. When Tropical Storm Erica lingered over Dominica and dumped more than 10 inches of heavy rain in a few hours, water supply systems were challenged by the unforeseen water pressure. Every single water supply system was under threat. The damage was largely limited to broken and mislaid pipe, although in the worst case, kilometers of pipeline were lost. Despite the hit to water resource management, island-wide access to potable pipe-borne water may be a bit delayed, but is still achievable. The entire population will enjoy easy access to safe drinking water. For GIS News, Kimani Saint-Jean.
Thanks, Kimani. You're watching National Focus. Coming up, Honorable Peter Seja appeals for empathy for pitted Savan evacuees, and the Dominica Red Cross teams up with Digicel. Stay with us.
Wash your hands. I am Adora Tuse, health educator from the Ministry of Health. Proper hand washing protects against the spread of many common illnesses and germs. Wash your hands often with soap and water, or you may use a hand sanitizer. Remember, clean hands save lives. Protect yourself.
A message from the Health Promotion of the Ministry of Health.
Welcome back. Following the passage of Tropical Storm Erica late last month, private sector company Digicel Play joined forces with the Dominica Red Cross to assist in its relief and recovery efforts. Last week, the society, assisted by Digicel Play volunteers, commenced food distribution and water supply in Roseau and environs. Director General of the Dominica Red Cross Society, Kathleen Pinat-Byrne, says Digicel came on board since the activation of the Emergency Operations Center, and their partnership has since grown.
From very early on in the game, Digicel Play partnered with Red Cross to assist us in carrying out our assessments, bearing in mind that road access was unavailable to begin with. Digicel Play actually paid for boats to take us into the communities to do our damage and needs assessment. They've also made available their vehicle to move persons around. And they continue to assist us by seconding some of their sales agent staff to Red Cross to help with this distribution, both from here and in the community. So they're a very important partner, and who've really done an excellent job in providing the in-kind assistance that we needed.
Representing Digicel Play's volunteer committee was Jessica Pinat-Byrne.
We are very happy to be a part of this partnership with the Dominica Red Cross. We've come out in numbers. About 24 of our agents are out on the ground assisting in the day-to-day volunteer works with the Dominica Red Cross. And this has just been in an effort to show that we care and that, of course, what we can do in terms of assisting the communities that we service, we also want to give back. So we appreciate the welcome from the Dominica Red Cross, and certainly being here today in this distribution is just the beginning. We are looking into the months ahead in trying to lend support in whatever way that we can. But this is definitely about helping the most vulnerable, the most in need, and of course keeping our communities and the people of Dominica in mind after T.S. Erica.
Meantime, Director General of the Dominica Red Cross informed that the society will soon undertake a cash transfer program which will focus mainly on the evacuees of Pitit-Savan. That cash transfer program is in the form of debit cards, each valued at $125 US, totaling 50,000 US. In more news, Honorable Education Minister Peter Seja is urging the general public to remain patient and support the people of Pitit-Savan, Dubic and Paradise Valley, Bafe State. A number of persons have been displaced due to Tropical Storm Erica and are being housed at the Dominica Grammar School and the Roseau Primary School.
The entire community of Pitit-Savan had to be evacuated. They had to be relocated, rehoused. And for these people, it is not a very pleasant experience. And so the general populace must be sympathetic to the cause of the people of Pitit-Savan and Dubic and any other individual or family that may have suffered loss to the extent that they had to be relocated. I want to call on the Dominican public, our students, more so those of the Dominica Grammar School and the Roseau Primary, the parent, the PTA, to understand that this is an extraordinary situation in Dominica. And so we must do all that is humanly possible to support the people of Pitit-Savan and Dubic.
Honorable Seja was speaking on Focus on Government and Development radio program last Thursday. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is up next with the Creole highlights.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, communauté de Big a tapé attention depuis qu'ils souffert mauvais blast Hod Erica. Parole celle-là sortie au Parlement, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow.
Comme on dit, parce que les savants tenaient la mort, sur tout focus là, à les savants, ok, mais ne pas pour l'oublier que des bics aussi étaient affectés mauvais. Et bien, in fact, c'est mon début là depuis jeudi après-midi, il commence à sortir des bics, parce que, I mean, comme on dit, nous pas besoin de PS scientist pour dire que le passage ouais c'est des bics encore. Et bien, c'est mon savent, c'est yo qui ouais ça yo experience. Quand nous avons parlé de la community center, il y a presque studio. Et nous avons fait dans des 3 semaines qui passaient, try best pour comment nous avons fait confortable. You need go tank backup generator, nous avons mapping connection TV, you avons tapé regular supplies. C'est elderly qui était un shelter, j'ai try to pour mettre dans home mondial Camel. Qui Catholic Church la bishop l'a fait available ba jati savan mais ça nous cal faire même bien nous cal faire verser mon grammar school là nous regarder si ni place à Guabe avec ça qui ça même si c'est 2-3 familles pas 2-3 familles tiwe hot shelter ça because nous connait 100 cash radio under shelter à the community center.
Alors nouvelle gouvernement Dominique Kenny a dépensé l'argent pour bâtir un pont en délice. Parole celle-là sortie du Parlement, Honorable Peter Saint-Jean.
Bitela, c'est ça. Présentement, moi pas ça dire comment écouter. Mais nous connaissons que tout en Dominique, n'importe qui pont nous fait en Dominique, puisque Dominique c'est un pays qui n'a pas de rivière, nous avons dépensé $1 million. Et si vous prenez un pont lagon en Portsmouth ou bien n'importe d'autre pont nous fait 4 millions, 6 millions de dollars. Non, actuellement, pont Bretika, c'est un pont qui a un problème. Et ici, c'est qui est plus difficile pour bâtir. Entre moi, mon cacré, qui écoute nous, bien, autant millions de dollars pour construire pont ça là. Le gouvernement Dominique a dépensé en lot l'argent, mais nous cacré qui est nécessaire, puisque c'est faux, nous faire chimer, peuple délice et Bretika.
On a une nouvelle ministre de l'Éducation, bien plaisir que l'école qui était fermée, sinon mauvais coultant Erika, oui ouvert à Dandiyo à un chiffre système. Ministre de l'Éducation, honorable Peter Saint-Jean, fait parole que chiffre système salam, que couri 8 heures le bon matin pour yon après-midi et puis yon pour 5 après-midi. Système salam a aussi fait allocation pour l'école des enfants. Ministre Saint-Jean a aussi crié à ses teachers pour mettre plus d'efforts en travail ailleurs, qu'on bagaille pas qu'on était avant. Ça fait de l'eau en l'école qui était affectée, aussi adressée par le ministre de l'Éducation. Messieurs et mesdames, ça c'est toute pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
Coming up next, a way to improve your health without diet or exercise. It's not necessary to diet sporadically to maintain good health. A way to improve your nutritional health is to make at least one meal a day completely raw. That is, a meal of only raw fruits or raw vegetables. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Jarna Hector. Thank you for watching.